Paranjoti has come. Though Paranjoti is technically everywhere at the beginning of the next century, that does not mean humanity would survive until that time. But the big calamity itself, whether humanity is going to be there on the planet or not, that would happen at the beginning of the next century. What's going to happen now is a lot of minor calamities. A lot of calamities are going to happen, minor calamities. We are making people go through it. We do not want to make any announcements. People across the globe, especially those who are very good mystics, are going through it. And we have now been able to decodify how to get the date and the month. We have come thus far now. So we have a lot of things where we have got the records of the day and the month and mostly the place where it's going to happen. But in order not to create any public panic, there will be no official statement from our side. Though the records would be with us, and maybe after it happens, if anything to say, we will say, but we would remain officially silent on that. Maybe for some people, we'll tell them, but officially, we'll be silent. But individually, people, their Antariyaman could warn them and tell them in which place, in case they are connected with that, what month, what day it's going to happen, and also give them guidelines how to escape or prepare them for death. All that is the work of the Antariyaman. So we, as an organization, as a movement, will not make any comments on the calamities, because that would create unnecessary panic. Though we do know, we would not make any comments on it, because we would not be able to save you. Only the Antariyaman are going to save you. Therefore, we will just keep quiet and we will be doing silently our best to reduce these calamities, to reduce the size of the calamities, and be silently helping the people. All that we will do, but nothing would be done publicly.
Thank you, Bhagwan. Next question, Bhagwan. Father Prams, my dear Sri Bhagwan, what is the significance of the Paranjoti lamp?
It's very important for you to become aware Paranjoti has come. Though Paranjoti is technically everywhere, it need not become powerful, need not actually manifest itself at a particular point, need not. The lamp is an indication. There's a change in the lamp. If you can see the Paranjoti in the lamp, it means Paranjoti has come. And you could start your prayers, your requests, or whatever you want, depending on your bond. So, to make it convenient for people, this has been chosen by the Paranjoti. That is why Ramalinga said, please light your lamps at your home, because from now on, Paranjoti would come to you through the lamp. So that is what our work and Ramalinga's work are very closely linked. So we are waiting for a particular time when we began to ask people to go for the lamp. But as the lamp changes, mostly you'll be able to see the Paranjoti entering it. And if it's big, it means it's come in a big way. If it's very small, the small way, but it will be perceptibly there, the Paranjoti, the light. So at that time, you must start your prayer either for Iham or for Param, because it has come in. And for the Soma also, for it to actually change. So it is for practical purposes to help you that we have introduced the Paranjoti lamp as wanted by Paranjoti. It is not our decision. As Paranjoti wanted, we did it, but it's going to happen was announced by Ramalinga Swami long time ago.
Thank you, Bhagwan. Next question, Bhagwan. Dear Sri Bhagwan, could Sri Bhagwan tell us more about the Dikshas launched online from Satyaloka?
Yes, as of now, we are giving 3 Dikshas, the Monday one for Arogya Diksha, and the Wednesday one for the brain, because you have to face the coming challenges. There'll be a lot of problems, economic problems, which would surface step by step. So you have to survive. You have to have enough money. You have to survive. You may have to start your own businesses, start your own things, or even to survive in what you have. You may need some ideas, some breakthrough ideas. All this is required. To put it shortly, you require more brain power. So Wednesday is for augmenting your brain power. And also, finally, it must become money. So for that, it will be Friday. And on that day, the puja that is being done, Satyaloka is a very powerful place where a special Srimurti is there, from which it is done. And this is being done as wanted by that Sapitwastra Bhagavan. Sapitwastra Bhagavan himself spoke, very clear, appeared and physically and spoke that do this. This is the way I want to help people. So what he has said, we are doing. Not that we have designed anything, not at all. He is housed in a special way in Satyaloka, which many of you would have seen. So he wanted that. And what he wanted, we are doing. So we have no other reasons to give. What, like Paranjyoti, we cannot say why you are coming in the light. Paranjyoti wanted to come in the light. So we said, do it. Kapitwastra Bhagavan said, do it this way. I want to function like this. You've done it. Why so? We have no idea.
Thank you, Bhagwan. Next question, Bhagwan.
Hmm.
Dear Shri Bhagwan, we find that the Srimurti of Shyama Bhagwan is being gradually withdrawn and replaced by the Srimurti of Paranjyoti. What is the reason?
You see, this dharma is global. I don't think there's any country where this dharma is not there. Maybe at least 5 people will be there in some country. It's everywhere. And outside of India, it's mostly people of other faiths, Christians. In Central Asia, it's mostly Muslims are our followers. In Turkey, we have our following, Muslims. And recently, when Japan had this earthquake, it was the Turkish contingent of our dharma which did all the work to help the Japanese people. Other countries were not so cooperative. They said, oh, it's not for our country, no? That was the attitude. Very surprising it was. But the Turkish people said, we will help. And they did what we asked them to do. The reason was they had their own earthquake. Having had their own earthquake, they were keen and eager to help. So we could make use of that and we could stop the tsunami. Otherwise, the tsunami would have been very devastating. Though, of course, we have been locally acknowledged, but the media is not acknowledged. As usual, the media won't acknowledge. It cannot acknowledge also. So now we have Muslims. Then we have Christians. So all of them worship us as God. Now it's very difficult for them to worship like that because some of the faiths do not allow a form. They cannot worship a form. The Jews cannot worship a form. The Muslims cannot worship a form. And Christians are very stuck with Christ. They can't move away from that form. Though, of course, we can change form also. And among the Hindus, because we are living, they are not able to accept us. And even many Hindus are not able to accept the human form. Oh, he's an Indian, they might say. Here it is, oh, he's Indian, South Indian, and he's Telugu speaking. So all these kinds of comments and remarks. So very difficult for people to move ahead. Oh, they eat food. How could they eat food? So we want to remove all these difficulties for the people. So we have decided to move back to our original form. The original form with the great compassionate light. That is our form. So we want to go back to that form, not abruptly, steadily, slowly, we are changing the form. So in many Srimurtis, we appear as Paranjyoti, we appear on the Srimurti. And of course, we also come into the lamp as sometimes in our form, but in the lamp, moving out to the what we call the formless form. And we are becoming more and more now. And also sometimes when I do give this Emendum class discourse, was some people in their homes, I become a light being. So we are changing that. And of course, in some cases, the Srimurti is permanently changing to the right form. In many cases, the form appears and then sometimes goes away to the old form. But now it's permanently changed. The form is changed. The photograph completely changes to light. So little by little, causing little discomfort for you, slowly we will change this form into the light form. Then we being an Indian is gone. We being a Hindu is gone. We being a South Indian is gone, or Telugu speaking is gone, that is going, this. All this thing is completely gone. So there's much less resistance from you, which means much more power from our side. So as you resist, it's difficult to help you. But if you do not resist, it's easy to help you. But if it's only going to be straight away the right form, then also the bond will not come. We have been around for some years. So even if we disappear, you know that when you leave the planet or when you do not appear to you, you still know that we were there. We were there like humans, we were there like you, living like you know all that. So that will create a bond. So that's one reason why we have to go through the form. But slowly we can now remove the form, and that's being done.
Thank you, Bhagwan. Next question, Bhagwan. Dear Shri Bhagwan, how are the 81,000 special?
You see, nature always uses numbers. For example, if there are 33,000 birds, the next one would be a twin. 33,000 twins, the next one would be a triplet. 33,000 triplets, the next one would be a quadruplet. At some point it stops. So now nature runs on numbers. Similarly, if you take a pumpkin, if you count the number of lines on the surface of the pumpkin into a particular number, would give you the number of seeds inside the pumpkin. So there are many, many such numbers which talk about the universe, including the galaxies, the stars, everything are controlled by numbers. That is the way UI functions. So here, the point is 0.0001. That is the point. So humanity is one whole. It's just one group actually. Though we think we are Americans, we are Russians, Chinese, we are all actually one group. Related actually. Now, 0.301% of that number, if its level of consciousness grows, let's say by 100%, let's say by 50%, the others would go by 5%. Let's say this 0.0001% grow by 100%, the rest would grow by at least 10%. Where consciousness is involved, as this number grows, the others would be growing that much. Not as much as this, but more than what they are. So if we want to, the whole universe is working towards raising the levels of consciousness. So of course, as we go on, the next species to come would be at a very high level of consciousness, maybe 1,000 years, maybe 1,500 years. You're not exactly able to place it, but it would be like that, at very high levels of consciousness. Already some beings have arrived. They are there in the Himalayas, they are there in the southern mountains. So they don't eat food. No food is required for them. And at best they eat a few leaves, that's all. And they are neither male nor female. And they're just flying around. For transport, they just move around from this hill to that hill, fly around. Some of our devotees have witnessed this. And some videos have also come to us, but they told us to keep quiet for some time. Later on, we could show those things. They do some puja and then they just disappear. So, no food is required. No need for the opposite sex to be there. That's gone. Even if they do want to travel, they just fly around. And they are in extraordinary levels of consciousness, extraordinary levels of consciousness. So now these people are the forerunners. Those I'm talking about are the forerunners. That's how we are going to become the